In today's video, I want to go over something that's been all over social media, gentle parenting. I'm going to review the 8 most common myths and hopefully shed some light on what it's all about. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Christy Kolev. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and a teen expert with over a decade of experience. I help parents navigate complex and common struggles with their teens, improve their relationships, and embrace non-judgmental parenting skills. Before we get into the 8 myths about gentle parenting, I want to talk a little bit about parenting styles in general. So, when I was studying, there are 4 different parenting styles we learned about, 3 of which were discovered by 1960 psychologist Diana Browman, and those were authoritative, authoritarian, and permissive. Later in the 1980s, some researchers identified a fourth, which was neglectful. Now, there's more modern parenting styles and approaches that are coming about these days, some of which you've heard probably by the name of like respectful parenting, conscious parenting, mindful parenting, and gentle parenting. For the sake of this video, we're just going to stick to gentle parenting. Now, gentle parenting is not really a new concept. It's been around for some time, but it was popularized around 2016 by author Sarah Ockwell Smith, who released since then a bunch of books on gentle parenting. And we've seen this surge of videos come out by psychologists and parent experts and parents themselves talking about gentle parenting. So recently, though, I've seen a lot of videos circulating on social media mocking gentle parenting, and most of them are in good fun. They're pretty funny. But I think a lot of them do come from a place of misunderstanding the concepts of gentle parenting and just not really knowing 100% what it's about. For some people, I think also it can be triggering. Gentle parenting can be triggering for them because it challenges their idea of what they think a parent should be, or it challenges the way that you were raised by your parents, right? Um, I don't think there is one definitive way to parent, by the way. I think that parenting requires adaptation and flexibility, but I do think that gentle parenting has some pretty spot on concepts that have been proven to be effective. So let's dive into the myths and learn a little bit more about gentle parenting. Myth number 1: gentle parenting is permissive parenting. False. Gentle parenting actually would fall under the umbrella of authoritative parenting because it balances empathy and compassion with rules and expectations. In gentle parenting, we're not letting your kid run around and do whatever they want whenever they want. There are clear boundaries, clear expectations, but with consistent discipline. Consistency is key. The discipline in gentle parenting is a lot more about teaching and guiding your kids rather than just punishing them for being bad. And the consequences in gentle parenting are natural consequences or logical consequences that fit the situation. We also focus on problem solving, helping your kids understand the consequences of their behavior and what better actions they can take in the future. So let's say if it's a younger kid and they break their toy, instead of just punishing them for being bad and breaking their toy, we are helping them problem solve to see if they can fix the toy and then use it. Or if they can't, then they no longer have access to the toy, and that's the consequence. Myth number 2: gentle parenting means never saying no. False. Of course, we're going to say no in gentle parenting. We set boundaries by saying no, but we do so in a way that has empathy and has the goal of teaching our kids rather than just enforcing rules arbitrarily. We do that by one, explaining the no when you can, and giving an explanation and helping them understand the reasons behind the no will help them make more informed decisions in the future because they know why it's a no. We also use alternatives, offering alternatives. If they can't engage in this behavior and it's a no, what else can they do that is more effective? So, no, you can't play with this, but we can try this, right? We also have validation. Your kids can feel heard and understood despite the fact that they're not getting what they want. Validation doesn't mean just giving in, it means that you understand their feelings. So, yeah, buddy, I get that you're upset and we still can't go today. This kind of validation can help avoid resistance and frustration, which will make your life easier in the future. Myth number 3: gentle parenting is ineffective or doesn't work. This really depends on what you think effective is or working is. If you think that effective parenting means having a mindless robot child that follows all your rules and does whatever you want whenever you want them to, then yeah, it's ineffective. And quite honestly, there's not a parenting style that would be effective if that was the case. But research does show that gentle parenting really builds your kids' emotion regulation skills. It helps with the parent and child bond in their relationship. It helps with communication skills. It helps with problem solving skills. All of these things are going to lead to a resilient, well adjusted kid and eventually a well adjusted adult. So I don't see how parenting in this way could be ineffective. Myth number 4, gentle parenting is only for young kids. False. I think this misconception comes from the fact that most of the principles of gentle parenting, like empathy, patience, positive discipline, are associated with those early developmental stages when they're still learning their social skills and emotional skills. And quite honestly, that's a lot of the content you see out there around gentle parenting. But the principles of gentle parenting can apply across all stages of development, including your teen. Gentle parenting for teens involves fostering autonomy, open communication, setting clear boundaries and limits with them, and also positive discipline can help them really get through their struggles. The idea is that you're building trust with your teen, you're building emotional intelligence and responsible decision making skills, which is crucial at that stage of development. I'll be making more videos in the future to talk about how to really specifically apply these concepts to your teens. Myth number 5, gentle parenting ignores bad behavior. False. Gentle parenting addresses bad behavior, but it does so in a way where you're trying to understand the root cause of that behavior and address it constructively with some of the things I talked about before, like problem solving and empathy, validation, instead of punishment. I like to tell my clients all behavior is caused. There's usually a need or an emotion lying behind a behavior. If we can help your kid identify what that is, then we can potentially help them communicate that more effectively in the future. If they can state what their need is and they can state what their emotion is more effectively, then it reduces the need for this so called bad behavior that they were using before. Myth number 6, gentle parenting is too time consuming. I think most people believe that gentle parenting is too time consuming or too hard because of its emphasis on communication and empathy. And yes, there is an initial time investment, especially if it's a new skill that you as a parent are learning. But let's be honest, parenting is hard no matter what. So wouldn't you rather invest your time in a parenting approach that's going to pay off for you in the long run instead of staying in this negative parenting cycle that keeps you and your kid miserable? Let's take a look at some of the long-term benefits of gentle parenting. So one, we have clear communication, which prevents misunderstandings and having to repeat yourself over and over again in the future. We have understanding behavior, which is addressing the root cause of these problem behaviors so that we can stop them from happening in the future. We have positive reinforcement, which encourages the behavior we want to see and reduces the need for time consuming discipline in the future. We have consistent boundaries, which we know that clear and consistent boundaries really reduce conflict with our kids when they know what we expect from them. We also have problem solving skills. So, teaching our children to problem solve independently reduces the need for parental involvement in the future. And those are just to name a few. There are a lot of long term benefits that come from investing this initial time with gentle parenting. And quite honestly, we're creating emotionally intelligent and cooperative kids with gentle parenting, which is only going to lead to a more efficient and harmonious home. Myth number 7, gentle parenting is too soft for the real world. A lot of people think that gentle parenting doesn't adequately prepare our kids for the harsh realities of the real world. They believe that empathy and validation are somehow weakness, or we're just indulging our kids' emotions. Some parents think, I gotta be tough on my kid because life is tough. But what does that really teach them? If life is gonna be tough and suck anyways, why not be a safe place for your kid to learn the skills to live in an unsafe world? And that's what gentle parenting is. Gentle parenting doesn't shield our kids from the harsh reality of the world, it gives them the skill to thrive in it. So, we've learned already earlier in this video that gentle parenting offers emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, problem solving skills, independence, empathy, communication skills, to name a few. All of these are essential to live and thrive and be successful in the real world. I think we all know adults that struggle in some of these categories and have a really hard time navigating relationships and life stressors, right? I've seen personally firsthand working with teens and working with their parents how gentle parenting can really set them up for success. And isn't that the ultimate goal? Don't we just want our kids to be successful and thrive? Myth number 8, gentle parenting is only for perfect parents. As we know, there are no perfect parents, but I do see that as parents, we judge ourselves quite often, and we get judged a lot by others quite often on the way that we're parenting. So it can be hard. I think if we're consuming a lot of this gentle parenting content, we can think to ourselves, there's no way I can do this perfectly. I can't be empathetic all the time. I can't validate perfectly. I can't communicate perfectly, and that's okay. Gentle parenting understands that you're a human and you're going to mess up. It's more about fostering a safe environment and encouraging learning. And honestly, modeling behavior is one of the biggest tools you have as a parent. So if your kids see you mess up, the way you manage that mess up can be vital for them. If they see you using your own emotion regulation skills, your own communication skills, that is going to be so helpful for them to witness and also to know that you're human too. So it's not about striving for perfection. It's about always being willing to learn and reminding yourself you are doing the best you can. I hope this video cleared up some myths for you around gentle parenting and helped you see that some of the concepts can be very effective. In my experience with teens and parents, I've kind of developed my own version of this parenting that I call non judgmental parenting. It takes a lot of gentle parenting concepts and also incorporates a lot of my training and background with DBT, which is dialectical behavioral therapy. So I have the concept of non-judgmentalness, but also some radical acceptance in there, some dialectical thinking. All of these things I can explain more in a future video on my non-judgmental parenting. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys all for watching. If you have any questions or comments on some other content you want to see from me, please feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.